Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds, starting with Dun, Dun, Dun. E Hunt. What it do? OG, man. Big Pond. Sup, Pittsburgh. Man, RIP to the Steelers, man. I sure was pulling for the Steelers, man. I did want the Steelers to go deep. That's my team. I got it, man. I hear y'all, Texans, that's the home team. I like Texas to win, but, Pittsburgh has been my team forever, man. So, yeah, I sure do. Yeah, man. They got to get better. They got to get better. Herb T, what up? No, I'm not late. You just early. Arturo Scott, what's up? Mr. Pheromones, Shalom. Adriel Hastings. Adriel Hastings. El Marco, what's up? What's up, Sean Lunatic? See Taron Reed, Jersey City. What it do? All right, fam, go in on this one. Let me put up a picture of my subjects. These young men that you see on the screen right now have all been executed. These young men who you see on the screen right now have all been executed. Executed by their government. Now, why would they do something like that? Well, according to reports, these young men were accused of robbing their fellow Congons. Yeah, they've been accused of, running around robbing folks. So, the Democratic Republic of Congo says, no more. No more. In fact, right now, more than 170 inmates are on death row, and they were flown to Congo's capital in a high security prison in the north where they will be executed. Congolese authorities said this. 70 of the convicts were transported on Sunday. Congolese Minister of Justice Constant Mutamba said, adding 102 other prisoners who have already been sent to prison in the northern Mogala province. The men have been convicted of armed robbery and are locally known as Kalunas, or urban bandits. Their ages are from 18 to 35. Mutamba said in a statement, he did not say when the executions would take place. Some people have welcomed the measure as a means of restoring order and security in the cities, while others are concerned about the risk of abuse and human rights violations. So where do y'all stand with this, fam? Y'all think this is a good thing? The police say, man, we finna clean this up and we just gonna have a zero tolerance for robberies. And we killing everybody. You wanna rob somebody, just go ahead on and make your plans for your funeral, because we gonna kill you. How do y'all think that will play out in the US? If they were to suddenly say something like that, well, you know it can't play. I could tell you how it'd play out in the US if it ever happened. It would be the same way things are right now today with this double standard judicial system. It would be an overwhelming amount of Black people who are going to get prosecuted and be executed, just as there is a disproportionate number of Black people being executed right now in the United States. Black people overwhelmingly get the death penalty when they're facing capital punishment crimes. Disproportionately, they receive the death penalty. And it'll be the same way if something like this were to ever happen here. Having said that, something does need to be done. Something drastic needs to be done, but you cannot trust the United States law enforcement and the judicial system in the United States to be fair and impartial with prosecuting and issuing out punishment. By the same token, not to the extent, but by the same token, I do not trust the Democratic Republic of Congo law enforcement and judicial system to be fair and impartial, at least not to get it right. I do not trust them. I do not trust them. My fear is that political pressure could lead to unjust convictions and arbitrary executions. So think about what I'm saying, fam. You get people that's overzealous, they, point them out. We go get them. Just point them out. Whoever get pointed out gets snatched up off the streets. And, and also anybody that people don't like. If law enforcement don't like you, a politician don't like you, or somebody important don't like you, they use their powers to get you snatched up off the street and you die. And nobody gives you the benefit of doubt because you've been accused of robbing. You've been accused of robbing somebody. So in that case, you get what you get. Right now, I want y'all to look at that picture right now. You look at that picture right now and you tell me what you see besides several Black men. Do you see faces? Do you look at those faces and you say, I wonder how many of those guys are innocent? Or do you say, aha, the only reason why you're crying because you got caught? Do you have any love, any compassion for them at all? Now, one got to say, okay, these guys out here sticking up. Now I wanna explain something to y'all, fam. These guys are not as innocent as they might look. First of all, before I go there, let me say this. One of the biggest problems that I have with this is that these people that run the Democratic Republic of Congo, they allow outsiders to come into their country and run amok. They allow themselves to be colonized. They will sell the people out for a few coins. but they ain't got no smoke for their colonizers. They ain't got this same level of smoke for outsiders who have smoke for all of them, not just the youngsters that they killing, but them and their families, everybody. They ain't got that kind of smoke for the people who come to their country and show disrespect. They ain't doing no killing when it comes to them. But they got zero tolerance for their own. Charity starts at home. I would think if you're going to give anybody a break, you would give your own a break. Having said that, your own is running around here not just robbing, but they are killing innocent men, women, and children. They're running up in hospitals with machetes, chopping people's arms off. So when you look at these guys, all of them, obviously, in my opinion, I just think by the sheer numbers that all of them cannot be guilty. All of them are not guilty. There's at least one person in there that's not guilty, but we don't know who it is. Again, fam, they don't impose the death penalty on politicians. The politicians are more responsible for the condition of the people than anybody. These are a bunch of misguided youngsters who have been conditioned to be heartless toward their own people. Now, where do you think that comes from? It's a trickle-down effect starting with your government, with the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo. So they don't impose the death penalty on politicians, but they will impose the death penalty on the poor who are victims of the system that is ran by politicians. Some people say, well, they're only kids. They need to be reformed. You know, they were born in these conditions and they need to be reformed. I'm split on that, fam, because at some point you got to restore order. At some point, you got to make it a priority for the people who are doing the right thing, the people who are respectful of others, the people who do behave civilized. At some point, they got to become the priority, and you got to put their safety first because they're playing by the rules. At some point, you got to prioritize the civilized. This is a double-edged sword, Bear. This is a double-edged sword because some of these youngsters have not faced a fair trial. Some of them are not gang members, but children who were sent out to that evening to shop or something, and they got kidnapped by the police. See, a lot of the police in the Congo are also corrupt. So the killers are killing the so-called killers. So a lot of these kids are poor. Their families can't afford legal representation to fight the cost of these crimes. There ain't even investigations going on. They don't even have the benefit of an investigation. Similar to some of the kids that are in the US, they don't have the resources. They don't have the money. Their parents don't have the money to fight for them. They don't have the resources. The deck is totally stacked against them. So if they get snatched off the streets and accused of something and given a public defender, well, guess what? The public defender gets his check from the same place the DA gets his check. They work for the same people. They're on the same team. So if they're expecting a public defender to defend them publicly, they are probably going to die. In this case, all of these kids are dead now. Every last kid you see in this video, they're dead. Some of these kids were born in the streets and abandoned by their parents. Abandoned by their parents who could not afford to feed them or pay for medical or school fees. For others, for some of these kids, though, who are actually guilty of the crimes that they've been accused of, it's too late. It was too late for them. It was already too late for them. The irony here is that these kids were killed because of robbing, while the biggest thieves are managing the country. And they are in charge of the so-called regular or street thieves. See, I'm gonna tell you a similarity here, fam, that could easily happen right here in America, where it's already happening in America, but it could get a lot worse. A lot of the youngsters out here who are sticking guns in people's faces, killing people, and doing whatever they're doing, running amok, they're making it hard on the regular kids who are out there just minding their own business. Even if they're not out there doing something great, they're minding their own business. They're walking from the store. They're walking from school. They're standing out on the corner. They're lying on a park bench because they're homeless. And they're being accosted by authorities. And they're being set up. They're getting false charges put on them. And they end up in prison. Who is going to fight for them? Nobody. So there are some similarities there, but it could get a lot worse because all they do is all they got to do is show the actions of a few. And in America, because they treat Black folks like a monolith, they say, okay, because a few of them behave the way that they do, we're gonna say that we're gonna justify our mistreatment of all of them because they all look alike. How do we know one from the other? How do we know which one is guilty, which one is innocent? So once they start bringing the hammer down, the regular old dummy citizens, the regular followers, the sheep fall right in line and go with the flow, never questioning anything. Now, again, fam, not all of these guys are innocent. Some of these guys were robbing and killing people, killing women, children, running up in hospitals, pulling out machetes, terrorizing people. They say after 8 p.m., you don't want to go outside because people are afraid they're going to run into one of these guys. Not these guys we're looking at right now because they're dead. I'm not sure that the death penalty is the right answer, though. Something drastic has to be done. It has to be some severe punishment. But I don't know if the death penalty was the right move because, like I said, they're going to also kill innocent people. They killed some innocent people while they, so-called getting rid of the bottom of the barrel. They're killing innocent kids also. The fact that they can be so heartless toward their own people, and um, they could be so aggressive toward their own people and not toward these colonizers. That's a nasty piece of work right there. Security forces in the Democratic Republic of Congo summarily killed at least 27 people, young men and boys, and forcibly disappeared 7 others during an anti-crime campaign between May and September 2018. The campaign, known among the police as Operation Lakofi 4, targeted alleged gang members in the Congo's capital of Kinshasa. Kinshasa. And look, fam, a lot of these youngsters, they got killed on the spot. There was no due process. Human Rights Watch found that police officers, often wearing civilian clothes, apprehended without warrant suspected gang members known as kulunas at night from their homes or other locations. In many cases, the police blindfolded and bound the victims, took them to unidentified locations, and killed them. Often, the police dumped the victims' bodies near their homes early the next morning. Most victims were strangled in an apparent strategy by the authorities to direct attention away from the police. So the police in the Congo out there just strangling people. Again, fam, that means that if somebody don't like you, and you know you're a police officer and you don't like somebody, look, man, you go out. We finna go hit this house. Okay, I hit a house that you don't like. Well, you somebody inside that you don't like, and we're gonna kill him. And then I need this guy here over here to get knocked off. So then you're gonna exchange uh, the favor for me. You're gonna help me knock off this guy over here. For these guys that ain't got no game, the suckers, the simps, that's one way to get rid of the competition. It's a girl that you like. She dating this one dude. You might not know nothing about the dude. All you know is that he's in the way. So let's get rid of him. Let's knock him off, take him out of the picture, then I get the girl. You think that wouldn't happen? You think that hasn't happened? The way that they're doing it with no due process, they can just go up in somebody's house and snatch them out of the house and take all their belongings, take their house or whatever they want to do to them. Now, human rights activists are also saying that this whole anti-gang, anti-robbery campaign ain't nothing but a political ruse. It's a ruse to spread fear in the capital to deter protest linked to the elections. Again, fam, don't get it twisted. This gang called the Kulunas have been responsible for some serious crimes, including armed robbery and violent assaults. So something absolutely need to be done about the crimes that they're committing. They absolutely need to be punished. But to arbitrarily be able to just go in and just run up in anybody's house, snatch them out, and make them disappear, you ain't no better than the common criminal. The police ain't no better than the common criminal. The politicians who's allowing this to happen ain't no better than the common criminal. See, a lot of times when this type of stuff happens, we only focus on law enforcement. Now you got to focus on your local politicians also, because all of them got a hand in it. All of them are responsible. Just like when the cops kill in the US and get away with it, the politicians are the ones who are allowing them to get away with it. But you never hear anybody calling out the politicians. They're only focused on the officer who did the shooting or the officer who was with him, or they're focused on the department or the chief of police or whoever. They only focus on law enforcement. But all of them are in the same gang. The politicians hold holds a law enforcement accountable. So if law enforcement is killing and getting away with it, look at your politicians. They're the ones who are to blame for them getting away with it. They ain't the one you can't necessarily say they're responsible for them actually doing the killing, but they are responsible for them getting away with the killing. And I'll take it a step further. I would say they're responsible also for the killing, because if they didn't put certain laws in place to protect the police wouldn't be doing all that killing. If they didn't think they could get away with the killing, they wouldn't be doing that. They wouldn't be doing it. You think all these black officers who don't go out shooting people in the back of the head and killing white folks and stuff, you think they're doing it just because they're good guys? No, they don't do it because they know that there's going to be severe consequences. The reason why kids who have parents who are lovingly involved in their lives and who are present, who are strict disciplinarians, the reason why they don't go out and do crazy stuff, because they know there's going to be some consequences and repercussions. But when kids have parents who don't hold them accountable, they have no incentive to change bad behavior. If you can go out, if a kid can go to school and beat up the teacher and slap his classmates and tell the principal suck my and all this type of stuff, and still get to go to the party, still get that new game system, that new smartphone, what is their incentive to change their bad behavior? Yeah, we're going to get into that next. I'm talking about Stephen Twitch. Stephen Twitch is a friend. Revealing that recording about his wife. Oh, yeah. I got to get into that. I'm definitely going to cover that. Miss Jazzy is in the building. What's up, Miss Jazzy? Abdul Muhammad says, you always taking things personal, even if it's the truth. What's that supposed to mean, slowpoke? Maybe if you took things more personal, you'd be further ahead in life. How about that? maybe if more people took things personal, we'd have a better society. We'd have a more conducive society, a more harmonious society. Maybe the reason why everything is all messed up is because it ain't enough people that do take things personally. What's up, China Carter? Hilly Duvalier. Hilly Duvalier. Huh. Cool lady, cool. Yeah, what's going on in the Congo is similar to how it go down in the US, where they crack down on the poor. They crack down on the poor and they allow the rich to run amok, do whatever they want to do. They got to find somebody to blame for the problems in society, so they blame the poor. And they put the poor out on Front Street, so they got to give you somebody. It's like, remember that movie Scarface where Al Pacino said, yeah, you know, you got to have somebody to point the finger at. I'm the bad guy. You got to have a bad guy, somebody to point the finger at. So a lot of so-called well-to-do people and people who are supposed to be part of polite society and people who got money and stuff like that, they got to have somebody to look down on. So the police know this. So all they got to do is go to the ghettos, go to the trailer parks, and make some arrests and show the people, oh, look at this bad guy right here. Look at him right here. This the problem right here with society. And that's enough to fool enough of y'all to make y'all get through the day. Because the problem, the idea is not for you to have a good life. The idea is not for you to be safe. The idea is for you to think you're safe. They want you to think you're safe. So if they can make a few arrests and arrest the people that they know that you have identified as the source of your strife, then they know that's enough for them to keep you on their side. So they're doing the same thing in the Congo. So they're killing the poor kids, killing the youngsters, killing them, while some of those people that live in the Congo who are doing a little better, that's or that's, you know, not you know, with the madness or whatever, they know that what they're doing to those youngsters is going to make those people feel good. And as long as they can get the masses to feel good about themselves and to have somebody to look down on, they know that their job is complete. So they do this to the youngsters. Now they got the answer to handle the youngsters, but they can't handle those colonizers. And plus, The people that look at law enforcement in Congo like they're doing a great job, like they're doing some type of humanitarian service, those same people are turning a blind eye to the corruption of the government and the corruption that's inside of the police department. So they ain't no better than the youngsters that the police are killing, who are actually robbers, who are actually urban bandits, so to speak. KC, what up? Boss Dog Kennels. Bin Laden's Chopper. That's my time, fam. I appreciate y'all joining the live. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Getting ready for another live in a moment, so stay tuned. No more talk.